beautiful day, and we're glad to be here broadcasting live on the Gardener's Corner program here at T.G. Brooks Company, landmark in Timberlake. They've been in business since 1936. My name is Rob. All glad to have you tuned in, and that is correct. We're live with the theme today for the Gardener's Corner program here at T.G. Brooks Company. We was here last year about this time of the year, and we're back this time, and glad to be here, and just really enjoying all the beautiful flowers and everything around here. And we just want to invite you to come on by T.G. Brooks Company and see the friendly folks here. My name is Rob Hall, and I would like to make welcome all the way from the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service. We don't have exact what you would call matching hats today, but both of us had the sun on our mind.
That's right.
And the last weather report that I saw said it was going to be mostly cloudy, but right now it's mostly sunny from my vantage point.
That's right.
But if you would, please make welcome Mr. Carl Catalupi.
Thanks, Rob.
A good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning to you. Good to be here. Wonderful, wonderful weather.
Yes, and in our background, we've got some beautiful flowers and vegetable garden plants here on our table. We've got a couple of things that's offered to you from T.G. Brooks Company. We've got the carpenter bee trap, and we also have an electric fence energizer that would help keep the critters out of your garden. And that's one of the most aggravating things sometimes that you have to deal with is, whether it's possum, raccoons, or groundhogs, things like that. Well, come on and see them at T.G. Brooks Company and check out this electronic fence energizer, and that will certainly help keep wildlife and deer out of your garden. I want to let you know, should you have any questions today for the Gardener's Corner program, you can call the radio station 336-599-0266, and Kilby is back at Control Central, so to speak, and you can ask the question to him, and he will actually text the question to me, and then I will ask Mr. Cantalupi. So, with all of that being said, with the question going through several different channels, we'll do our best to get the question answered properly, but we may not be able to, but we'll do our best.
We'll give it a try.
That we will. But again, 336-599-0266. And Dave Bratcher, I just want to let you know, as you're operating the camera, I think we should start doing the show out here a lot more often. Anyway, Carl.
Well, let's see. What are we going to talk about today?
Sunday will be May 1st, and that is the ideal time. There goes Donna Kay passing by. May 1st, as we have talked about a long time, that is the time to go ahead and really get busy planting the garden. Yeah,
you should be reasonably safe, I would say, at this point in time. Hopefully we won't get down into freezing weather again. So we can be reasonably safe in setting out warm season vegetables. Of course, if we do have chance of frost, we can always cover them, but now's a good time to start working the soil if you haven't already. Adding soil amendments to the garden, lime and fertilizer. Of course, the best way to do that is by taking soil samples so you know how much to add. But anyway, those materials can be added to the soil. Just looking around the area, I guess, and I saw last week a lot of different plants that have been kind of damaged by the frost, but I think the thing to remember is that people shouldn't throw in the towel and think because the plants have gotten frost damage that it's going to kill the entire plant. Then that's not true. But we had several plants that have shown damage: azaleas, crepe myrtle, figs. I've seen some damage on some compact holly, some blackened leaves at the top. Loropetalum have been damaged, but basically the thing to do is to wait until you see live growth occur just below the point that was injured, and then go ahead and you can cut the injured portions off. So plants should recover, and they'll be set back again for a while, especially figs. Blueberries were injured, but as was the case at my house, the flowers on the outer periphery of the plant were killed by the frost, but towards the interior of the plant, they look to be okay. So kind of see what you have, but don't think that all is lost, because the plant will still grow. Grapes. Again, there's in a grapevine bud, there's actually 3 buds. The first bud contains flowers and leaves, and if that gets killed by the frost, it triggers a secondary bud that will send out flowers and leaves. If that gets injured, tertiary bud or third bud sends out just leaves only. So the grape, while your fruit production might be down, the plants are not going to die. But go ahead.
So one of the best things is to just give it a little bit of time.
Yeah, time. That's all.
And see how things fare out. So if you do think you've got some damage from the frost a few weeks ago, don't go out with the pruning shears cutting it back just yet.
Right.
Wait until you see growth, and then you can get rid of the part that was affected by frost.
Absolutely.
Carl, we're going to change course of direction. We just had a caller that called the radio station.
Very good.
And I'm going to lead into this question by asking this. I know we have talked. Hey, Steve, how you doing? We've talked many, many times about many different publications that is available through the Cooperative Extension Service.
That's right.
Everything from how to construct a greenhouse, maybe how to do a compost pile, how to go about taking care of moles in your landscape. Do you all offer anything there that gives suggestions on how to get rid of maybe raccoons or anything like that?
Yeah, there's publications that we have on controlling raccoons, yes.
The reason we had a person to call in, and they're having problems with raccoons that are chewing holes into one of the outside buildings, and they keep getting into the interior of the building. And that's the way that I understand the question was asked. And they want to know some ways that they could deter the raccoons. Now, they could contact the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service of Preston County. That telephone number, Carl,
is 336-599-1195.
And what publication would they need to ask for?
It's just a publication on raccoons.
Okay.
And now, we can get that out to them. If they have email, we can certainly email that publication to them. But my guess is with raccoons, you're probably going to have to trap them some way, and then fix up the parts of the building where they're getting through. Make sure that that's secure. And I don't know the situation completely, but they could be going into the building for a food source, and
And they may be looking at a place, I guess it's about the time of the year when the raccoons will start, having babies and things.
Okay.
So I don't know that for sure, but they may be looking someplace to have the newborns.
Right.
But anyway, something else, you could come out here to T.G. Brooks Company. I'm not sure if they sell the live animal traps or not, but you can talk with them here. The telephone number to T.G. Brooks Company is 336-364-2428, and you can just inquire if they have the live animal traps. And one nice thing about the live animal traps is you can trap the animal without causing harm to it, and then you can relocate the animal away from your area to where you won't have any more problems with it. But as mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you're having problems with raccoons, possums, deer, or anything that is getting into your flower beds or into your garden, T.G. Brooks Company has an electronic fence energizer, and that will help deter that. And speaking on that, Carl, you have also in the past told us about a chemical that can be sprayed on flowers and vegetable garden plants that give off a bad odor. Or maybe you actually spray it around the perimeter of the garden. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can actually spray it on the plants. There's a couple of products that come to mind. Plant Skid is one, and another one is Liquid Fence. Both can be used, and what they are is putrefied egg solids. And boy, does it smell. But it works.
Well, my neighbor has told me that he has taken eggs and would dilute them in water and put them in a pump-up spray and spray around the garden. And after a while, it gives off the smell of rotten eggs. But this chemical that Carl is talking about, it's a liquid, I guess, and you just put it in your spray. And you don't have to worry about wasting eggs.
Right.
So, but that's just a few tips to some things that you can do to help deter, wildlife from getting into your garden and things like that. Carl, you made a good point a while ago, but hopefully everyone has already done soil samples, and they know whether they need lime or not on the vegetable garden, and also how much fertilizer that they would need for whatever they plant.
That's right.
But I think something that would really be good to emphasize now and over the next few weeks, that when you are planting your vegetable garden, is it a good idea to plant everything all at one time?
No, that's a very good point, Rob. It's not, especially if you have a larger garden and you want to have a succession harvest. If you plant all snap beans all at once, you're going to have a lot of beans come up all at the same time, mature, I should say. So a lot of people will use the calendar method. They might sow some sweet corn seed or some bean seed on a certain day of the month, and then a week later they'll make another sowing. Well, you would think that would be a good idea, but it all depends on the on the temperatures that we have. And if you sow sweet corn seed now, the temperatures kind of go up and down. We have warm temperatures, but then we get a cold period, and we kind of have temperatures that rise and fall. Well, the next week you plant another batch of sweet corn, and you might have excellent weather.
Hey, Quinn.
And what happens at the end is that both plantings will come in at the same time.
Right.
So the better way of doing it is, instead of doing it by the calendar method, do it by the growth stage of development. So in sweet corn, once the sweet corn germinates and gets about 2 inches tall, then make your next planting. So then you'll be assured that they won't both come in at the same time.
Well, Carl, when you talk about planting sweet corn, if you plant several different varieties, it's very possible for them to kind of cross-pollinate.
That's correct, yeah.
And if you do it in the manner that you are suggesting, you can kind of cut back the cross-pollination, correct?
Well, yeah, they different varieties. Well, and that's probably a good thing to talk about. The ordinary sweet corn varieties are called the standard sugary types.
Right.
And if you plant them, the cross-pollination can can be detrimental to some sweet corn's variety. I think that's what you're trying to get to.
That's right.
What you get at.
What I was going to say, if maybe you're used to planting, say maybe a silver queen or a silver king corn.
Yeah.
That's the white corn. Mm-hmm. And then you want to plant some yellow corn. It is possible that they could cross-pollinate.
Right.
And you would have bicolored corn.
You have a bicolored corn. Yes, that's right.
And that's all well and fine. And they actually have varieties
that are bicolored,
of bicolored corn that you can plant. So, but you can request the vegetable garden planting guide.
That's right. We have that
at the Cooperative Extension Service. 336-599-1195. That's the number to the Person County office. And for those listeners in Granville County, they can call 919-603-1350.
Right.
Now, for our listeners, it's maybe in Durham County. I'm not sure of that number, but it doesn't matter if you're in Granville, Person, or Orange County. If you call one of the offices, they can tell you how to get in touch with the local office in your county.
Right.
We're going to get a word on for T.G. Brooks Company in just a few minutes, and we'll come back and maybe spend a little bit of time talking with either Bill or Roy Brooks here at T.G. Brooks Company. But it's a beautiful, sunshiny day, and it would be a great opportunity for you to come out to T.G. Brooks Company and get some vegetable garden plants, some beautiful flowers, mulch by the scoop. They have plumbing supplies, gasoline. They have Owl Pride foods.
All right.
Premium pimento cheese here, ice cold beverages. The list goes on, and hand-cut ribeyes. But right now, let's take a break and hear a word from T.G. Brooks Company.
Here's some good news from T.G. Brooks Company. They have 20 varieties of tomato plants in right now. 20 different varieties of tomato plants and vegetable plants, and some flowers are starting to come in at T.G. Brooks Company. Here's more. April and spring is bursting open. T.G. Brooks Company is ready, and they have them in. They have your tomato plants, cabbage, broccoli, lettuce, Brussels sprouts, herbs like basil, chives, thyme, oregano, dill, cilantro, peppermint. They have lavender. They're geared up for the planting season. April is the month to really get things done for spring and summer. Fresh garden seed are in and ready to plant. Reseed your lawn with clean, fresh seed, and they have the fertilizer, lime, herbicides for weed control, and if you need mulch, wow, do they ever have mulch. Even that triple ground mulch. Do you need straw, pine needles? How about potting soil, planting soil, or cow manure? They have spreaders, and they have aerators for sale or rent. No matter if you are a homeowner or you are a commercial landscaper, T.G. Brooks handles everybody with the same courteous service. They can arrange delivery, or you can pull in with your pickup truck or trailer. They'll load up your mulch for you. Their bagged products like pine mulch, they'll load it into your car or trailer. And don't forget Bartlett Animal Feeds. Bartlett Animal Feeds at T.G. Brooks Company. It's exciting to see spring and the growing season. When the day is done, nothing tops off that day like a hand-cut ribeye cooked on your grill. Make traffic tracks to 411 Helena Mariah Road in Timberlake. Phone them at 364-2428. As always, T.G. Brooks Company has proudly served the homeowner, the farmer, and those in construction since way back in 1936. They welcome folks from all over Person County, Rougemont, Northern Durham, and of course, Southern Person County.
Here we are, we're broadcasting live today on the Gardener's Corner program from T.G. Brooks Company in Timberlake. They've been here since 1936. And with me right now is Mr. Bill Brooks, one of the owners of T.G. Brooks Company. Bill, how are you today, sir?
Rob, I'm great. It's a beautiful day here in Timberlake. It's a wonderful day to be out doing things in your yard and your garden, and we're just so proud that y'all could come by and do the show with us today, and just tickled to death to be here.
Well, you know, Bill, we was here last year in the springtime, had a beautiful sunshiny day, and it is certainly that way right now. And I was picking at Carl Cantalupe earlier this morning. We didn't wear matching hats, but both of us wore a hat today to kind of protect ourselves from the sun. But the last weather report that I seen was calling for mostly cloudy today, but it's a beautiful day. We had some much needed rain yesterday, so it's the opportune time to get out and work in the yard and garden, correct?
No question about it. It's not too warm outside today. The sun's beautiful. We didn't get enough rain to affect a lot of the things you'd want to do, and it was really a wonderful rain for the gardens and lawns and everybody, even the farmers with the tobacco being planted. We needed it very much. So it'll pay great dividends down the road, and just encourage anyone to get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. It's just too pretty to stay inside, I think.
It is that. Bill, let's talk about a few things that you all carry. And T.G. Brooks Company is like one-stop shopping. You can get your grocery items, your gasoline, find all kinds of things for the farm and garden. Also, y'all cater to a lot of contractors in this area. And for pet owners, you all have dog food that is been around a long, long time, and y'all got customers from near and far that come here just to purchase dog food, correct?
That is correct. We are associated with Bartlett Milling Company, and we have their several lines of their feed, such as the Pride, 3 or 4 different types of Pride, the Tracker dog feed, and they're great. They're great products. They are well known. They are very reliable. I'm not as knowledgeable on that. You may have to get Sean Long out here to give you all the high points of the feed, but it's a good line of feed, and we have a lot of hunters and even just one dog man that got his family there. They have a pet food for every occasion. So
if you got pets, you can get the feed for them here at T.G. Brooks.
We can accommodate you with any of the Bartlett products they have, and they are very good and very, as far as I think, what I can see, they're price-wise, they're economical as they can be on their feed. They are.
Well, now, Bill, we've got some Grizzly coolers here. Can you tell us a little bit of information about the Grizzly cooler?
We added the Grizzly cooler line earlier this year, and we looked at them for a while, and it is a cooler that is made in America, where a lot of these coolers are not. They are the cooler that advertises, and they, according to what I understand, they'll keep ice for 5 to 7 days. We've got them in several different sizes: a 60, a 40, a 20, and soon to have the Grizzly cups. They hadn't come in yet. They're a new product they're coming with, but we have been very successful with them and sold quite a few of them. And if you have a need to go camping and keep ice and keep food cold for several days, they seem to be the ticket. So.
Well, you know, a lot of people, whether they're camping or they are contracted out on a construction job, ice can get very expensive. But if you've got a cooler that will keep ice, you know, up to a week or so, that will save you money in the long run. And when you figure up the cost of your ice on a weekly basis, it doesn't take long for that Grizzly cooler to pay for itself.
Well, we certainly think that way, and we hope so. And it also keeps your perishable items from perishing. That's just the main key of the whole thing. So we're excited about that, and we've done well with them. You want to come by and just look at them. They're really nice coolers.
Well, you know, Bill, that's a great point. Food safety it's one of the big things
Absolutely.
that people should really be concerned with, especially this time of the year where they're going to be out camping or maybe going to different picnics and family gatherings and things. So come on by T.G. Brooks Company and check out the Grizzly coolers, and you'll be glad that you did. Bill, I know you're a busy man, and you were just telling me before we went back on air about y'all have been extremely busy the last several weeks with everything, and you said you hope that maybe within the next couple of weeks you would maybe be able to do some lawn work and gardening at your actual home.
We always are the last ones to get our work done, as we well know. So, when we get caught up, maybe I can get my garden established. But right now, I was always told you make hay when the sun shines. So we're gonna stay at it right here, and it's a great time to be doing it. And we certainly appreciate what the community in this area does for us and coming out, and we all work together. So everything y'all do and everyone around here, we appreciate everything.
Well, before you go, Bill, tell us your hours.
We're open from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. 5 days a week. But you really can't get into bulk products to 7 a.m. But we are here in the store at that time. Saturday, 6 a.m. till 5 p.m. and we are closed on Sunday.
And you carry gasoline that is pay at the pump, so people can get gasoline here 7/24.
Anytime
7
you want
days a
to,
week,
you can get
24
gas
hours a
out
day.
there with a credit or debit card. You sure can, and that's quite a convenience too. If you really have, some people's schedules don't always match traditional schedules, so that works well for everyone. We're glad to have that feature too. So.
Well, Bill, thank you for having us out.
Rob.
Appreciate y'all.
Always appreciate you and Carl out
here at the radio station, and appreciate y'all being a big supporter of the Gardener's Corner program.
Great show. Everybody should listen to it.
Well, we appreciate that. We sure do. But y'all give it up for Mr. Bill Brooks of T.G. Brooks Company.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to get Mr. Carl Cantalupi back on here, and we're going to continue on. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, we are broadcasting the Gardener's Corner program live from T.G. Brooks Company today. But if you've got a question for Carl Cantalupi, just call the radio station 336-599-0266 and speak with Kilby, and then he will text message me the question, and I'll ask Carl, and we'll do our best to get the answer for you. Carl, how's the asparagus plot doing?
Doing great. Still picking. This will be the last week for it, but the quality has been excellent this year. We had an early start with asparagus, and the frost didn't bother it, so good 6 weeks of picking. So they really yielded well this year.
Well, Carl, I know you had said that you started picking asparagus 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
this
about
year.
March 15th, yeah.
And so it's been a really good crop, and I know that you will be ready for a break from having to harvest on a daily basis.
That's true.
Well, look, we're going to get another word on for T.G. Brooks Company, and we'll be back in a few minutes, but we would love to invite everybody to come on out here to T.G. Brooks Company. They've been in business here in Timberlake since 1936. We'll talk with Bill Brooks coming up in just a few minutes. But come on out to T.G. Brooks Company, and you will be pretty much surprised at the long line of different products and items that they have here. Guarantee you'll find something that you would like to have and something that you would enjoy here at T.G. Brooks Company.
Here's some good news from T.G. Brooks Company. They have 20 varieties of tomato plants in right now. 20 different varieties of tomato plants and vegetable plants, and some flowers are starting to come in at T.G. Brooks Company. Here's more. April and spring is bursting open. T.G. Brooks Company is ready, and they have them in. They have your tomato plants, cabbage, broccoli, lettuce, Brussels sprouts, herbs like basil, chives, thyme, oregano, dill, cilantro, peppermint. They have lavender. They're geared up for the planting season. April is the month to really get things done for spring and summer. Fresh garden seed are in and ready to plant. Reseed your lawn with clean, fresh seed, and they have the fertilizer, lime, herbicides for weed control, and if you need mulch, wow, do they ever have mulch. Even that triple ground mulch. Do you need straw, pine needles? How about potting soil, planting soil, or cow manure? They have spreaders, and they have aerators for sale or rent. No matter if you are a homeowner or you are a commercial landscaper, T.G. Brooks handles everybody with the same courteous service. They can arrange delivery, or you can pull in with your pickup truck or trailer. They'll load up your mulch for you. Their bagged products like pine mulch, they'll load it into your car or trailer. And don't forget Bartlett Animal Feeds. Bartlett Animal Feeds at T.G. Brooks Company. It's exciting to see spring and the growing season. When the day is done, nothing tops off that day like a hand-cut ribeye cooked on your grill. Make tracks to 411 Helena Maria Road in Timberlake. Phone them at 364-2428. As always, T.G. Brooks Company has proudly served the homeowner, the farmer, and those in construction since way back in 1936. They welcome folks from all over Person County, Rougemont, Northern Durham, and of course, Southern Person County.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. My name is Rob Hall. Mr. Carl Cantalupi, our resident expert of the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service, where he divides his time between Person and Granville counties. Carl has a mind full of knowledge, and you know, last week, Carl, I was telling you that I had seen one of your co-workers, and Gary Crossan, we were talking, and I told Gary, I said, I know Carl deals with a lot of things on a daily basis, but how he retains and memorizes all the different things that he does, I said, I just don't understand. And I said, a lot of the things that we do on the Gardener's Corner program is kind of repetitive over the year.
That's right. So,
but it has to be, just because it's really no way that unless you're per se in the business and do it as a livelihood, it's no way that you can remember everything. And so it's really helpful to have someone such as you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that very much.
Don't mind people asking questions.
No, that's what we're here for.
And you answer them. Carl, now, a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, I need to get a bunch of nitrogen and fertilize and fertilize my yard heavy. Now, if they have cool season grasses, it's not the best opportune time to do such.
Right.
But what about Bermuda grass?
Bermuda grass is just starting to grow. Case in point is my home yard. We had early warm temperatures. Bermuda grass started to grow, and then we had the freeze, and it actually knocked it back a little bit, and now my lawn is kind of like a checkerboard pattern, because we've got Bermuda grass that was growing before, and we've got new grass that's coming in that's finally starting to grow and refilling the bare areas in the lawn. So, but just give it some time. The lawn will fill in, and you'll have a good lawn. Now, Bermuda grass is a warm season grass, and it responds best to fertilizer in the hot summer months when it's actually actively growing. May, June, July, August. That's the best time to fertilize your Bermuda grass lawn. Of course.
Now, do you do it on a monthly basis or just one time, Carl?
You can do it once a month, just to keep it actively growing. And you should fertilize with 1 pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. So if you have a 10-10-10 fertilizer, that means it takes 10 pounds of that 10-10-10 to equal 1 pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet.
So more or less a 50-pound bag would do 5,000 square feet.
Right.
Okay.
And then, of course, the soil test is valuable, because if you're deficient in phosphorus or potassium, you can add those as well. Of course, a 10-10-10 fertilizer means you've got 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, 10% potassium, in that order. So if you are needing those extra extra fertilizer elements, you can use something like a 10-10-10, and then also apply limestone if you need to bring the pH up.
Well, now, Carl, I know because you have told me that you are a fan of Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
If you would take just a few moments to explain the pluses of Bermuda grass, and then, more or less the cons of Bermuda grass.
All right. Bermuda grass, it's a warm season grass, and it grows very well in the hot, dry summer months. Irrigation is usually not needed for Bermuda grass. It forms a nice, thick, dense turf. It fills in an area very quickly. Actually, we're getting soon to the period of time where Bermuda grass seed can be sown, and that is late May and early June, and then it'll come up and grow throughout the hot summer months. It wears like iron. It doesn't have the problems with brown patch like fescue does, and you don't have to worry about irrigation. Some of the cons of Bermuda grass is that it goes dormant earlier than cool season grasses, and then it takes longer to green up in the spring. So those are, the possible cons of Bermuda, and many people say Bermuda, they call it wiregrass, and they don't like it. But for a turf grass, I think you really can't beat it.
Well, Carl, it sounds like if it's maybe a new home under construction, or maybe somebody has done some digging and other things in their lawn, it's maybe not the best time to plant the cool season grasses, but later on in May and first part of June, they could plant the Bermuda grasses.
That's right.
And they would stay green through the summertime, and then maybe this fall they could go back and plant cool season grasses if they wanted. Would that be possible?
Sure.
So some helpful hints. And again, we want to stress that if you're thinking about planting a vegetable garden, you can call the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service, and they have a excellent publication. And is it called Vegetable Gardening?
In North Carolina.
And it has a list in there of the amount that you would need to plant for a family of 3 or 4 people. And Carl, I'm going to shoot from the hip and ask this question. And I know you've told us this information in the past about you could take, I forget what size it is, maybe a 10 by 10 area.
Right, 100 square feet.
And plant vegetable garden plants in it. And if you sell those products, about the amount of money that could be made from that 100 square feet, and even though if you don't sell it, the amount of vegetables that you could use. Do you remember the particulars on that call?
Yeah, about $88.
$88
for a 100 square foot garden. A general figure that has been calculated, and so $88 worth of garden produce in an area 10 by 10 feet by 10 feet.
And for someone that maybe lives in the city or maybe not has a lot of property, they could fix a little small garden. And you may not have everything that you need, but you would have a lot of things out of that little 10 by 10
right,
that you could, enjoy. But again, a lot of people, I think, become overwhelmed when they go out and they just plant massive amounts of different things. And when the harvest comes in, everything comes in at one time, and you're working against time that you got to harvest it before it goes to the bad, and it can really wear down on you.
Yeah, and small square foot gardening areas are good, especially when you first start out. And if you just have a small space, it's best not to plant vegetables that'll give you a small return on what you plant. For example, sweet corn. Don't plant a lot of sweet corn in a small garden because it's not going to give you much. Plant vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, snap beans, vegetables that will give you a good amount for the space that you have.
Okay. Carl, we just received another question, and after this question and you answer it, we'll get another word on for T.G. Brooks Company. We'll come back and talk with Roy Brooks. But we had a caller that called in and said that his cherry and plum trees are dying earlier than expected. They are only about 15 years old. And what is the normal life expectancy for cherry and plum trees?
Well, that's probably about the normal, life expectancy.
Right.
I mean, it could be dying due to several things. One common problem with plums and cherries is a fungus called black knot, K-N-O-T. And it gets its start on wild plums and cherries in the woods, and then the spores blow over to your cherry and plum trees that you have in your home orchard. And what it does, it produces this blackish encrustation, crusty-looking thing that just girdles the twigs and causes them to die. If that's what he has, you can go and try to eliminate the wild sources of plums and cherries. And then generally, if you apply a fruit tree spray to your plums and cherries throughout the year, you won't see black knot. But that's only one thing it could be. He might have peach tree borers. I guess he has to kind of describe more what he's seeing.
Right. And the person that called that question in, you're welcome to call the Person County Cooperative Extension Service Office at 336-599-1195. And you can ask to speak to Carl. If he's not there, you can leave a message, and he can return your phone call and maybe helpfully answer the question better to get you more information to help you figure out what's causing your trees to die. And it may not be anything. It just may be they have lived out their life. We're going to get another word on for T.G. Brooks Company, and we're going to catch up with Roy Brooks from T.G. Brooks here. And we'll be back in a few minutes with more of the Gardener's Corner program from T.G. Brooks Company here in Timberlake.
Here's some good news from T.G. Brooks Company. They have 20 varieties of tomato plants in right now. 20 different varieties of tomato plants and vegetable plants, and some flowers are starting to come in at T.G. Brooks Company. Here's more. April and spring is bursting open. T.G. Brooks Company is ready, and they have them in. They have your tomato plants, cabbage, broccoli, lettuce, Brussels sprouts, herbs like basil, chives, thyme, oregano, dill, cilantro, peppermint. They have lavender. They're geared up for the planting season. April is the month to really get things done for spring and summer. Fresh garden seed are in and ready to plant. Reseed your lawn with clean, fresh seed, and they have the fertilizer, lime, herbicides for weed control, and if you need mulch, wow, do they ever have mulch. Even that triple ground mulch. Do you need straw, pine needles? How about potting soil, planting soil, or cow manure? They have spreaders, and they have aerators for sale or rent. No matter if you are a homeowner or you are a commercial landscaper, T.G. Brooks handles everybody with the same courteous service. They can arrange delivery, or you can pull in with your pickup truck or trailer. They'll load up your mulch for you. Their bagged products like pine mulch, they'll load it into your car or trailer. And don't forget Bartlett Animal Feeds. Bartlett Animal Feeds at T.G. Brooks Company. It's exciting to see spring and the growing season. When the day is done, nothing tops off that day like a hand-cut ribeye cooked on your grill. Make tracks to 411 Helena Mariah Road in Timberlake. Phone them at 364-2428. As always, T.G. Brooks Company has proudly served the homeowner, the farmer, and those in construction since way back in 1936. They welcome folks from all over Person County, Rougemont, Northern Durham, and of course, Southern Person County.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. We're broadcasting live from T.G. Brooks Company. Here with me now is Mr. Roy Brooks, one of the owners of T.G. Brooks Company. Roy, a little while ago we had Bill on here. We talked about the grizzly coolers, the Bartlett milling feeds that you all carry, and we kind of touched a little bit, on bulk supplies such as mulch and things like that. But if you would at this time, would you just tell us about some of the different varieties of vegetable garden plants you have and also bedding plants?
Oh, we're just very fortunate this year. It's been a good growing season, so the plants are all just in great shape. They're ready to be planted, most of them, and as the variations move on through with all the different kinds, we try to have some ready this week and some ready next week, so that if we do sell out of a particular type of vegetable, we'll have another crop of them coming in soon. In the tomatoes, there are so many different kinds. Everybody has a favorite, and everybody likes their favorite. We try to have as many varieties as we can, but it's almost impossible to have all of them, Rob.
Oh, I know, and I understand you all have somewhere around 20 or so varieties of tomatoes. And I know a lot of people years and years ago would plant the Marglobe and Homestead. But, over the years, the progression of different varieties of tomatoes, pretty much if you want a good canning tomato, or if you just want a good eating tomato, come on out here and talk with them at T.G. Brooks Company. And if you take a little bit of time and tell them what kind of, tomatoes you like and would like to have, they will tell you what maybe you would enjoy. They can't guarantee that, but Roy, what is your personal favorite type of tomatoes?
We plant mostly Better Boy. Better Boy is the largest seller by far over the others, but the Marglobe you spoke of is still a great canning tomato. There's so many different varieties. Of course, you sell the cherry tomatoes and the grape tomatoes and the German Johnsons that have low acid, and then a lot of people like the Roma tomato, which has a little tougher skin, and then a lot of people like Celebrity. It's a high-producing tomato. And a lot of it depends on the season and the proper nutrients in your soil. If you have good plan, as Carl has always lectured you on, be ready before you plant.
Yeah.
Everything, get your lime tested, get your soil ready to grow, and by all means, try to rotate your tomatoes. Don't always plant them
in the same spot. Good, right. Good point. Good point. Something we have not talked about. 1 week from this upcoming Sunday will be Mother's Day. You've got some beautiful hanging baskets out here and some beautiful flowers that would put a smile on just about any mother's face. So tell us a little bit about some of the varieties of flowers and things you all have out here.
Well, the flowers vary so much and to be planted in the correct place. If you have a full sun plant, of course you need marigolds or begonias or vinca. They don't require as much water, but if you're going to the shade, you need to come back in with impatience. And if you're going to medium sun and shade, you can do petunias and stuff, but you need to think ahead. You need to plant the right plant for the right amount of sun, and by all means, put good soil in them. Of course, we're very fortunate we have black cow manure and black cow planting soil, the black velvet, that is my favorite to plant any vegetable or flower in. They just give it a better start. It's the cleanest soil we've ever sold, and it holds moisture well. It just makes that plant grow off very well. And it's a name that everybody knows.
Absolutely. So, folks, just take a little bit of time and come out and pay a visit with them here at T.G. Brooks Company. Roy, appreciate what y'all do for the community in Person County and the surrounding areas. Y'all do a fine job, and want to wish y'all many, many more years of success. And in 2036, I'm looking forward to being out here doing a 100-year celebration at T.G. Brooks Company.
I'm looking forward to it, Rob, and we're very fortunate to have you and Dave come out and do all the work for this.
Well, we appreciate y'all having us. All right, we're going to get Mr. Cantalupi back on, and we'll wrap the show up. But again, appreciate y'all tuning in, and we are broadcasting live from right here at T.G. Brooks Company. All righty, Carl, you've had a time to browse around and see some things. A lot of beautiful flowers that is just looking some nice soil and TLC to watch them mature into things of beauty and bountiful harvesting.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Rob. Yeah.
Carl, any closing remarks for today about things, what people could be doing and should be doing right now this time of the year?
Just go along and just, if you have to maybe weed the flower beds or put down mulch, it's an excellent time to do that. If you want to prevent weed growth in and around the flower beds, you can use an herbicide such as Surflan, Surflan, or actually the granular material of Treflan that's sold as Preen, Preen. It's a granular material you can shake on the soil. You have to have, it has to be applied to a weed-free area. It's not going to kill any weeds that are growing, but it'll prevent other weeds from coming through.
Okay.
So that's a great help in the landscape. So you can definitely put those materials on now. It will not harm any existing flowers or shrubs that are growing.
Some great advice, Carl. And again, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Sure, anytime.
That's going to wrap it up for the Gardener's Corner program as we're broadcasting live from T.G. Brooks Company. And we appreciate their support of being one of the sponsors of the Gardener's Corner program. Thanks goes out to Bill and Roy and the entire staff here at T.G. Brooks for having us out today. And just want to let you know that if you're in the area, take a few minutes to stop in, and you would be surprised all the different products and items they carry. Everything from mulch in the bag all the way up to well water pumps, plumbing supplies, dog kennels, dog houses, fertilizers, hand-cut ribeyes, the list goes on. But again, thanks for tuning in to the Gardener's Corner program. On behalf of Mr. Carl Cantalupi, Mr. Dave Bratcher, and myself, Rob Hall, we want to wish you and yours a happy and safe weekend.